Anything of that gig?
Yeah, I just remember what a sleazy dump it was. And
what a sleazy guy you were going out with for a first date.
No, I was quite excited about the guy I was going out with.
Were you?
Yeah.
It's a pity it didn't last, wasn't it? Well, it was a wonderful evening. I seem to remember them wearing dresses. It was very...
I don't remember.
It was very Iggy Pop. Wayne Barrett was more pre-punk. If we have the phrase post-punk with Joy Division, but it was more pre-punk, wasn't it? But famously, out of that group at that moment in time came Martin Hannett's first great production. Cranked Up Really High.
Yeah.
Which...
On Rapid.
On Rapid Records. What do you think Cranked Up Really High was about, Lindsay?
Well, one guesses it was about drugs. What was it?
I'm not making any guesses. I'm just going to play the song. Cranked Up Really High, Manchester classic from 1976 on Rabid Records. The choice of my guest. I'm Anthony Wilson, broadcasting to you live from Salford Quays on XFM Manchester, and my guest is Lindsay Reade, who is the co-author of the new Ian Curtis biography, and who used to manage bands like 52nd Street and even the Stone Roses, and who was I was about to say briefly married, but it was about 6 years we lasted, didn't we, dear?
Or maybe even 7.
Maybe even 7. The last 2 were terrible. Right, it's your choice of song next. That was my original modern Manchester song. You've chosen a Neil Young song. I know we're both children of the 60s, aren't we, I suppose?
Well, Neil Young saved my life, actually. Because, you know, I was about 18, I think, and, you know, when love affairs go wrong, you feel really bad, don't you? I actually thought about suicide.
This when you were 18?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And
which lover was this?
It was my first.
Your first lover?
Yeah. And listening to Neil Young, I thought, well, he knows how I feel. I mean, he's felt the same. And, you know, actually people have said that about Ian, too. I've met 2 or 3 people who said that
when they listen to Joy
words
Division
have saved their life, because they can, you know, somebody else feels as bad as you.
It's obviously not true. The person doesn't know you, has never met you, they just recorded a song in a studio far away around the world, but it is the miracle of rock and roll that you can feel that.
Yeah. They feel the same.
Which particular song?
Birds.
I mean, this is from After the Gold Rush, which is an album I thought I knew really well.
You'll know the song.
Are you sure?
It's got It's Over in it.
It's over. Which are the 2 most important words in the world? The 3 most important words are I love you, the other 2 most important words are it's over. Okay, let's have Mr. Neil Young, a little bit of tragedy, how he saved Lindsay Reade's life. That was Neil Young, Birds, from the album After the Gold Rush. It's the choice of Lindsay Reade, my guest on Sunday Roast here on XFM Manchester. I'm Anthony Wilson. Lindsay Reade is the co-author of the new biography of Ian Curtis, and we'll play some more Joy Division stuff as the afternoon wears on. But first of all, the important line there isn't it's over. The important line is, lovers, there'll be others.
There'll be another, yeah.
There'll be another. And whenever I have any of my friends who get heartbroken, I take out I've written down word for word in the back of a copy of a volume of Proust, which is a quote from André Gide, which is that I cannot believe that human beings are such cowards that when something is over we believe that's it, and why
are we cowards? It's true though, we do.
Because we cling to the wreckage. The phrase cling to the wreckage comes from this quote, refusing to accept the truth.
Yes.
There's always something around the corner. There's always something new.
I agree. Why do we do that? I mean, I was so young. I was only 18 and I thought that was the end of my...
Life was over.
Yeah.
I just think you hadn't met me then. I'm sorry about that. Right, now I get to choose my song now, which is going to be some Simon and Garfunkel. I know we're getting very 60s on you out there. I'm sorry about that, 60s and 70s, but there is great music from then, and we're going to play some very brand new music as well as some Joy Division stuff from about 1980. But first, we take a short break. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We don't take a short break. I'm sorry. I'm looking out for the station here. I'm trying to get an advertising break to sort us out, but maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. We're going to play my lyric of the week. And this show... By the way, Lindsay, I know you don't listen to the show because you work Sunday lunchtimes, don't you? So you can't listen to the show, and you haven't missed that much. Although, I tell you what, Stephen Morris, the Joy Division drummer, was really good last week. And if you're listening, Stephen, we love you dearly. But there is a theme here, which is lyrics. We like lyrics on this show, even though occasionally we do play instrumentals by mistake. And this is a lyric This is a Simon & Garfunkel album that dominated my A-level year. When I was doing my A-levels, I can remember listening to this album. It was bookends. It was Simon & Garfunkel's weirdest album.
It's a great album.
It was a transference between sort of being a cool folky group to being Bridge Over Troubled Water, massive sort of hip-hop group, as it were. But this song is America. Do you remember America?
Oh, yeah.
America. And in my first year at university, when I was lonely, I used to look out the window at the cars driving on the Maid's Causeway, it was called, which was the Newmarket Road, and I used to hum to myself watching the cars on the New Jersey Turnpike. And this is the bit where he's with his girlfriend on the bus, isn't he? And he says, he imagines the guy opposite being a spy. It's a wonderful song. This is Simon & Garfunkel.
Good choice.
I could wander on for ages.
Get on with it then.
I'll get on with it. America by Simon & Garfunkel. That's Simon & Garfunkel from the album Bookends, their great transitional album and their most interesting album, Forget Bridge Over Troubled Water. That was America. I'm empty and aching, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because we're going to take a break. That was Sigur Rós, Harpi Polla, or however it's pronounced. I don't know how it's pronounced, because that's one of my residual occupations here, playing tracks from the playlist. I have no problem with the playlist, and I have no problem with Sigur Rós, but it does sound better when you've got the Palm Springs Mountains behind you and the sun setting over the desert, as they were doing 2 weeks ago when I saw Sigur Rós, or rather watched him while I was having a drink with somebody and talking about something else. And also, this is another bad moment of the show where my guest, Lindsay Reade, the co-author of the biography of Ian Curtis, the new one just out in your bookshops now, insists, because she gets the choice of some songs, and that's something I never used to allow you when we were married, did I? No. But you ignored me anyway. So you've chosen John Coltrane, and you know I hate jazz.
Well, it's not really... No, I didn't know you hated jazz.
Of course I hate jazz. That friend of yours, Andy Connell, really annoys me.
Why?
Because he loves jazz. He thinks it's better than rock.
Well, I think intelligent people do.
Right.
Oh, sorry, that's
no, it's fine. It's fine.
That
It's
sounds
fine,
like
yes.
a terrible insult.
No, I am a thick bastard.
I think you are intelligent. No, you're very intelligent.
No, I'm a thick bastard.
All right, okay,
you want to play a John Coltrane? Why do you want to play a John Coltrane track? Track on this incredibly cool show?
Well, because this track is actually Tosh Ryan's very favourite in the whole world, and it's in my top 5.
Okay, so you're playing this for your new boyfriend, aren't you? Let's be honest. Okay, Tosh Ryan was my predecessor running a Manchester record label. Rabid Records was a very groovy label out of Didsbury, South Manchester in 77, 78, before we lot started. And I can't believe I'm actually very, very pleased. I think you and Tosh are a wonderful pair. And Tosh isn't listening to this because I take it he's in Anglesey this weekend building his house again, is he?
Yeah, but you can get it on the computer, you know.
Do you think he'll be listening? If you're listening, Tosh Ryan, this is for you. And by the way, Tony from Davenport, we know you're listening. Thank you for the information. You keep texting us in. Apparently, Neil Young wrote Don't Let It Bring You Down in Manchester. He implies he wrote it about Manchester. I can't think why anything in Manchester could bring you down, but then again, in the early 70s, it probably could. This is Lindsay Reade, my guest choice. It's a John Coltrane song. And Friends fans, this is called Central Park West. As Frank Zappa once said, jazz isn't dead, it just smells funny. I'm sorry, that was beautiful, but we have a no jazz policy on this program. Bruce Mitchell broke it 2 weeks ago. You've broken it now. Andy Connell is never coming on this show. Andy Connell from Swing Out System. No, not having him. Let's get back to the reason you're here, Lindsay. It's not because we're celebrating our 30th anniversary of our meeting, and which is presumably our 29th wedding anniversary.
Today, yeah.
Today, fantastic. I'm glad I remembered that. We are celebrating the release of your book. You co-wrote with Mick Middles, the Manchester writer, The Life of Ian Curtis, Torn Apart. The book's great. One of the eeriest things about your book is that for the first time ever, I mean, we've heard Debbie's tragic story, Debbie, Ian's wife's story in her own book, Touching from a Distance, but now you got access to Anique Honoré's letters from Ian to her, which Anique was Ian's lover at the very end. How did you manage to do that?
Well, Anique had made the decision, you see, because of the film that was going to be made, which still hasn't been made yet, has it? But
it's being made. Apparently, the reason it's a bit late, and we had an email, someone saying, where's the film up to? It's been delayed by 3 months. It was meant to start shooting first week in April. It will now start shooting first week in June. But go on.
Oh, well, she'd made the decision. It was the people before your film people.
It was the early film people. Michael Stock was the writer of the first film, which was done by AA Films out of New York.
Well, she gave the letters to him.
Right.
She wanted Barney to see them. And that was just a decision she